The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, and host of the ever-popular Dr. John Deloney podcast, which is exploding across America right now. And he talks about mental health and boundaries and relationships and crazy people in your family and all that kind of stuff. And everybody's got them, baby. So he's here to help with your life, and I'm here to help with your money. And we will just get in each other's business and have fun talking about you folk right in front of you. Phone numbers at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. So the people in the lobby are already pointing at each other about who's crazy.
When you said every family's got him, they all looked at
They
this
all start
one.
pointing at each other.
He looks relatively handsome. He looks like a nice guy, but man.
I think she's talking about his family.
No, I think she's talking about him. Man.
I can't tell through the glass.
They are letting him have it.
It's just, wow, merciless already out there in the studio audience.
That's right.
Open phones here. Jump in. You can get on. Again, Dr. John Deloney here, 888-825-5225. Tom's in San Antonio. Hey, Tom, what's up?
Well, hi, Dave. It's a pleasure to talk with you. I just had a question. I'm probably 3 years away from retirement, and I just wanted to know what you would think would be a reasonable percentage of my principal to withdraw from my retirement accounts once I do reach retirement.
Why are you withdrawing principal?
Well, I'm sorry. Probably I phrased that wrong, but how much could I expect to draw down from those accounts?
Okay.
Do you think, just to support me?
Well, I mean, there's some primitive math you can do, and that'll probably get you close enough to where it's the math I'm going to do on mine. So the inflation rate for the last 78 years or so, not counting the last 4 months, has been about 4.2%, and that included Jimmy Carter when it was 12%. So this current 6% is going to get absorbed into that. So you can figure a 4.5% inflation rate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if your money, your nest egg is not at least growing that much, it's not breaking even. It's deteriorating in purchasing power. Understand?
Yes.
Because $1 million won't buy what $1 million would 20 years ago. Same thing.
Right.
That kind of thing. And, you know, if you retire, you got 20 years or 30 years or 40 years, this money's got to last. So it won't buy the same loaf of bread 30 years later for sure. So you want to at least break even. So I try to not draw down... try to leave at least 4% of the growth in the account, at least, and so that it breaks even with inflation. And so if you're making 10, then you could draw down 5 or 6 pretty safely, right? If you know, and on average. And so, and here's the other thing: if let's say 1 year you made, but you set it up on a 6% drawdown at 10, okay, which is a real simple math with what we're talking about right here. 1 year the thing didn't make 10, it made 8. And so you kind of cut into some of your inflation or principal money a little bit. Well, that's okay because another year it'll make 12. And you're still only pulling out 6, and you'll put the 2 back. So the variance in the market will, if you have a tight formula, will work itself out over a decade. You know, and so you're not going to chew up the principal doing that. Now, that's assuming you actually make that. Now, if you're continually not making enough, year in and year out, well, that's the investment setup and so forth. So how much money you got?
Right now, it's probably $5.3 million in investable assets.
Okay, you're not even going to get.
You got to lead with that, brother. Come on, man.
I should have asked earlier. I'm sorry.
Well,
way to go, Tom!
That's awesome, man.
Touchdown!
Well,
it don't matter. Take out what you want.
I've heard 3%, 4%. I wasn't sure what.
Yeah, I mean, you can live a great dadgum life pulling off 3, 4, 5% off of that, and never, as long as it's invested in good mutual funds or something like that, where if you're making that 10 mark and you're pulling off 3, 4, 5, you're gonna be just fine. I mean, and you probably have some of it doing better than that, some of it not doing that good. But
okay.
But way to go! How'd you do that?
Oh, just working, and when I started working, I just started putting away as much into my retirement account as the law would allow.
So you didn't make it all like investing in Beanie Babies or Bitcoin?
Oh, heck no.
Okay. All right. You didn't get rich with nothing down real estate?
No.
Okay. So you just steadily invested. You're boring. I love you.
Yeah. Well, we borrowed for our first house. The house, we're on our fifth house now, but that's the only one that we borrowed on was our first house. So we just paid cash for the others.
What was your income through the years?
Well, about $250.
Okay, so you make good money, but you just chunked it. You lived well and chunked a bunch of it in investing, and there you go. Now you're worth $5 million. How old are you?
Right, 64.
Way to go, man. Way to go. I'm so proud of you.
None of the kids on the internet are going to like this guy at all.
No, he's like the proper millionaire. I mean, this is the way people become millionaires this way, not all that other crap.
Yeah.
That's why they're kids on the internet.
For a long time. And then ta-da.
Yeah. They didn't hit the lottery, didn't make his money on Beanie Babies.
It's like driving down the road and there's that sign on the side of the road that says, call me and ask me how I lost weight. And you call them and they say, diet and exercise. Ta-da. It's like, oh.
Yeah, that'd be $5. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Josh is in Austin, Texas. Hey, Josh, how are you?
I'm pretty good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, Dave, I had a question. So me and my wife together make about a little bit over $100,000 a year.
Good for you.
We have car debt, which is about 17, 18, and then a boat I just bought foolishly not too long back during the pandemic, and that's about 17. So my main question was, that's our debt, and then she has about $10,000 in student debt. That's all the debt that we have.
That's all?
One main question is,
I don't think that's the right phrase. It's like, oh, my God, I'm so scared because I'm so deeply in debt is the right phrase.
Well, I mean, it could be a lot worse. I've seen some of my friends that have made worse.
Well, it could be worse. You could be in Congress, but, I mean, it still sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, hey, hold on. That student loan debt is your debt too, brother. It's not just hers.
I know. And that's, once we got married, I'm like, it's mine too. So,
all right,
anyways,
good.
Yes, sir. So, my main question was, so we both have credit cards, and we use them every month, and we pay them off in full every single month. The reason why we use them is to collect the points, and not the points, but the cash back. I mean, it's bills that we're going to pay, and then expenses we're going to use every month.
Of course you do. You're the guy with $34,000 in car and boat debt and a student loan debt that's been around so long, it looks like a pet in your bedroom. Of course you use credit cards. You fit the profile exactly, and you're foolish enough to actually believe it's working for you.
No, and I don't think my question is.
You start telling me about the airline points.
No, I don't use airline points. It's all cash back, and I roll it into my son's savings whenever I cash it out. But I guess my question is, I have about $30,000 in stocks, and then I have my 401k, which I can't pull until I'm retired. But would you suggest I just take that money out? Let
me ask you something. Do you really want to work on this? If I tell you what to do, will you go do it?
Yes, sir.
All right, you hold on through the break, and I'll help you. This is The Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Dr. John Deloney, my co-host today, Ramsey Personality. You can hear the Dr. John Deloney Show, new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on YouTube and anywhere you listen to great podcasts, and tune in there. All right, we're talking with Josh. Josh is in Austin, Texas. Josh has $17,000 on a boat he just bought, $17,000 on a car, $10,000 on his wife's student loans, and he's asking about using credit cards as long as he pays them off every month and gets the points that he puts into his son's savings. Is that a fair summary of what you told me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How old are you, sir?
I'm 30.
Oh, and you make $100K. That's the other thing. Yeah.
Then, well, with my wife and me.
Yeah, household income. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you've not been listening to us for very long, correct?
No, sir. I just started. My dad told me about y'all about a year ago.
Okay. All right. So, instead of giving you the snarky, smart aleck answer, then I'm going to be gentle, because I was assuming when you were asking all of that a while ago that you knew a lot more about what we teach than you do. So let me back up a little bit and tell you this, okay? We've done coaching with families, teaching them how to handle money for 30 years, tens of millions of families. And we just finished and published in a book called Everyday Millionaires, the largest study of millionaires ever done in North America, studying how they did that, okay? Because the subject really is, when I'm talking to 30-year-old Josh who makes $100,000 household income, what is the shortest distance between where you are now and wealth? How fast can you get there? What's the fastest way and the highest probability of getting there without being crazy and taking a bunch of risk and being rash and unwise? What is the way that most millionaires become millionaires? And if I can get you to do that, then you have the highest chance of prospering. And that's my goal here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, given all of that, the first thing that we discovered many, many years ago, and we've taught successfully, and it's led a lot of people to become millionaires, is your most powerful wealth-building tool is your income. And when you give your income to someone else in the form of payments, debt, you slow down, inhibit the ability to grow wealth. Because if you add up, for instance, the average car payment in America right now, Josh, is a little over $500 a month. If you invest $500 a month from 30 to 65 in a decent growth stock mutual fund, it's about $5 million. Hope you like the car, because that's what that car payment costs you if you keep a car payment your whole life, like most people do. But they could have had $5 million. Instead, they kept a car payment their whole life, because the fact that they had a car payment was normalized by our culture, and they weren't feeling any pain from having the car payment, kind of like you.
Yes, sir.
It's not bothering you at all. It was bothering me more that you had a car payment a while ago than you. You follow me?
Yes, sir. And I used to have a truck, so I had a truck payment, I'd say probably a couple months ago, that I completely paid off.
That's good.
And
so you're heading in the right direction. And then you went and bought a boat to replace the payment.
Yeah, pretty much. But I was thinking the same with your car, and then pay off the boat.
So here's the thing.
Money saved.
If you're going to commit to a millionaire plan, the shortest distance is two things. One is to avoid debt. And so you don't go buy boats unless you can pay cash for them. And you don't go buy cars unless you can pay cash for them. And you take the debt that you have and you work really, really hard to get rid of it as soon as possible. Okay? And then over to your other question, in all of the millionaires that we studied, and we studied over 10,000 of them, not a single one said they made their money by efficient use of credit cards and collecting points and airline miles. Not one. That's not a millionaire game. That's a middle class falling for Bank of America's bullcrap game. Discover's bullcrap game, where you make them rich. And so the millionaires, some of them do what you're doing, and some of them use a debit card and just pay for things because they don't want to take the chance of rationalizing their way into credit card debt, which you're about a half an eyebrow length from doing. You're going to accidentally fall into credit card debt one of these days doing what you're doing because you're undisciplined in handling your money right now. And I'm not picking on you, I'm just observing. Okay? Now, you can do what you want to do. You're a successful young man. You make $100,000 a year. You have all the toys and all the things out in your driveway that make people think you're making it, but you're broke. You have $44,000 in debt. You make $100,000, and you're calling me about how to efficiently use a credit card to give your son $4 in points into his little account. And so, you need to back up and say, am I willing to change some of that? Am I willing to go another direction? Okay? And so I'm hitting you pretty hard here, but the biggest enemy of success is not failure. It's mediocrity, because you get comfortable in the middle ground of average, and you'll be average. You, right now, statistically, are a normal American. And normal sucks. Work your whole life, end up with nothing. And it all went to freaking banks in the form of payments, and none of it went into your mutual funds. Now, you got some going in your 401k, that's good. So I would take your $30,000 in stock, I would cash it out, and I would pay off your wife's student loan and your car, and I'd sell your boat.
Today.
Now. And now you're debt-free. And now you can start building some wealth, and you can buy you another boat later. I've got boats. I love boats. I got 2 Mastercrafts sitting on the lift waiting on me to head down there this weekend to the lake house. I love boats. I'm not against you having a boat. I'm against your boat having you, and you paid as much for the stinking boat as you did your wife's car. Dude, really?
It hit me, I think you and I have talked about this privately. It hit me a few years ago. The credit card company or the airline company is not my friend. Like, they're not hooking me up. And it's like,
hey, come here, behind the building.
They're not
come here,
doing
behind the
me
building.
like,
I got something for you.
Hey, buy 10 of these things, bro. I'll just give you $10. That's not what's happening. They're investing in the potential that I'm going to fall down. They have looked at my debt profile. They've looked at the way I spend money, what I buy. I buy it on.
They know more about your behaviors than you do.
That's exactly right. And so they are gambling on, hey, we're just going to keep giving
them $10
a month.
They're not even gambling.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's an actuary
investing.
table. They know. They're making an investment that I'm going to fall down, and they're just waiting. $10 a month, $20 a month, $20 a month, $20 a month. Ah, there it is. His transmission fell out, and he just put $10,000 on this credit card.
They know what the probability of you being in credit card debt is better than I know or you know.
It's 100%.
And you're making $100,000. You're living in that zip code. They know what bottled water you drink, dude.
That's exactly right.
I mean, the marketing analysis on the data on you, especially these days with Google, where they're just completely.
They follow you. They know everything.
They're completely going through your underwear drawer every day. They know everything about you.
Yes.
And the nightstand. I mean, they're going through everything. And you've told them everything voluntarily. And so now they can track you down and pin your ears to the wall. I know, because we do it. We buy very targeted Google ads, very targeted Facebook ads to get you people to plug into this stuff.
Right.
And so and we're not nearly as sophisticated as a lot of these other people.
Well, you're the most altruistic businessman I know. And so anything off of that. But here's the thing. They're giving you that flight for a reason.
Yeah.
They're not because they're your friend.
Yeah, and by the way, it's never the good flight. So Jupiter has to be aligned with Mars. You can only travel in the age of Aquarius. So under the red moon or the blue moon, which is it? It's unbelievable. Yeah. So try lining up those dadgum areas. But the point is, study what people who are wealthy have done, not what theory is. A lot of broke people, and I grew up this way. We sit around and talk. We sit around the campfire, sit around everybody's playing spades and sitting there. And on Friday night, and all the neighbors are sitting around. You're playing pinochle or whatever our parents played, cards, and they're all talking about. They've all got theories about how rich people really are, and all of them are wrong.
Every one of them.
If their theories were right, they wouldn't be sitting at that table anymore.
That's right.
Because they would have understood that, but so your broke friends all got all these financial principles and theories. And so, hey, Cash, all right, Josh, if you're ready to change, you tell Kelly. If you're not, don't. It's okay. If you're just mad at me, it's all right, too. Because I'm here. I've got a gift for that. But if you tell Kelly, I'll sign you up for Ramsey Plus and put you through our class and teach you how to do this, and I won't charge you a dime. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. This is The Ramsey Show, where we give you common sense for your dollars and cents and your life. Ed and Liz are with us in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Hey, guys, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. It says on my screen you're debt-free. Congratulations. How much did you pay off?
$335,000.
Woo! How long did that take?
Whoa!
9.5 years.
All right. And your range of income during that time?
96 to 144,000.
Good for you. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
And I'm a physician assistant.
All right. Well, I'm guessing since it took 9.5 years and it was a lot of money, maybe you paid off the house.
We sure did.
All right.
Woo! Talking to weird people. Way to go, you guys. How old are you guys?
34.
And you have a paid-for house. That's ridiculous. What's this house worth?
About 350.
And you're 34 freaking years old.
Wow.
That's so awesome, man. I'm so proud of y'all. Well done. Touchdown. All right, tell us your story. What happened 9.5 years ago that put you on this Ramsey-type journey you're on?
Sure. So after we got married, we kind of wandered in and out of debt with home improvement loans, car loans. We were still paying off student loans. Using credit cards, and, we thought that we were doing well because we would pay it off before the interest started or, immediately after. And, we were just kind of playing with fire because all it would have taken was one loss of a job or a big expense, and, things would have gotten ugly real quick. So we really didn't start the kind of gazelle intense until we found out that we couldn't have biological children, and we realized we'd need about $25,000 for each adoption, and we were planning on doing it twice. And we didn't want to go into more debt with our children, so we did fundraising and we did extra work to cash flow both of those while we were paying everything else off. And
wow.
Around that time, we found you guys, and we paid off the rest of our debt and mortgage in a short period. So it had taken us 7 years to pay off, all those things in our $75,000 mortgage, and then 2.5 years to pay off the other 75 of our mortgage. And we did the last 46 in the past 9 months.
Yeah, when you could see the finish line, you sprinted, huh?
We sure did.
Wow. That's incredible. I know most of my friends in my life can't do a workout program for 9 days. How did y'all stay on this for 9 years?
So we started, I guess, just before we even knew about the kids. It was, well, let's just pay off our house, and we threw extra money at that for a long time, having that kind of be our ultimate goal to get that paid off. And then, when we kind of saw, we started watching the amortization schedule, we're like, hey, we could have this paid off by this time. And then it was like, well, maybe we could have it paid off by this time. And, we just kind of watched that, and it really motivated us to see we were so close. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And
my motto was debt-free by 33.
Okay. And you made it, huh? Or real close.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
All right. So you've been married, 10 years?
Yes. Yep. 10 years
You found us how long ago?
About 4.5, 5 years ago.
Okay, so that you were already kind of on the general path, and all we did was just help you tighten it up. Is that how this works?
Yeah. I mean, I think we were still, like I said, using credit cards and things kind of prior to you guys. I think we were kind of playing with fire. We were doing okay, but we weren't in good habits, I would.
Yeah, and how'd you find us? Radio or Financial Peace University or what?
Yeah, through podcasts and the radio show I was listening to.
Okay, cool. How much is in your retirement?
Right around 100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your net worth's about $500,000 already, and you're 34. So that means you're probably going to be millionaires by 40 or so.
We're hoping.
Yeah, that's the track you're on. You'll be baby step millionaires. You've done this stuff the way we teach. I'm so proud of y'all.
Thank you.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? You're 34 with a paid-for house. You actually know.
Well, I think it's just having the budget, and we have meetings weekly still. It used to take a lot longer, and when we look back at our first couple of budgets that we did once we found you guys, they were really ugly and messy. And now it's just kind of habit, and the budget is so important. And I also teach your foundations class at the middle school that I teach at.
Thank you.
And the one episode where Rachel talks about driving in reverse, that's what we were doing with our credit cards when we were using them. We were driving in reverse, now we're looking at what we had paid. Now that we use just the debit cards or just cash, now we can actually see forward, and it's a lot easier.
Powerful. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, you got to be careful what you teach because you'll learn it.
Right.
Yeah, nobody will hold you accountable like a room full of middle schoolers either, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They're savages, man.
Yeah, so teach, you really do this or not? Huh? Tell the truth. What's it really like? Yeah. Yeah, they are savages. 13-year-old savages.
Whew.
Yeah. Wow. Way to go, you guys. So proud of you. What are the kiddos' names and ages?
So Eddie is 4 and Elliot is 2.
Joy of your life, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a long road to adopt them, but it's a beautiful gift from God, and we are just so blessed.
Yeah, you received a beautiful gift and you gave one too.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
So beautifully well done. Well done. Yeah, their pictures are showing up on the YouTube feed. We're seeing them here. They're great looking young guys. Look like full on boys. I love it. Very good.
They are 100% boys.
Yeah, I love it. Well, congratulations, you guys. We're so proud of you. We got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you. That's the next chapter in your story as you're on your way to being Baby Steps Millionaires. And, of course, we'll give you another copy of the Total Money Makeover as well, so you can give it away to someone and get them started on their journey, because that's as you know, that's the roadmap, the blueprint on how to get where you are at 34 years old. You guys are so impressive. All right, count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah! I love it. So, you know what my problem is?
You won?
I have talked to Ed and Liz 70,000 times in 30 years. So when Josh calls,
It just wells up in you.
and I know he should be them instead of him,
Yeah.
I'm already over there, and I have to stop a minute and try to get Josh to go with me.
Yes.
Because I already go over there, and I'm like, I'm just going to kill you.
That's right.
I'm just going to kill you right here on the radio in front of 22 million people. And that's not fair to poor Josh, because he's new to the game.
He's just figuring it out. That's right.
He's just getting there, and it wasn't fair to him to just take his head off, and I didn't. So,
But here's where
but that's a joke. They're 34. He's 30.
They make about the same amount
They
of money.
make about the same amount of money, and their house is paid off.
Yeah.
And 4 years later, if he sells the boat, he does this stuff. That's why and the problem is, and you've done this in counseling as well, sometimes you want it for them more than they want it.
And I can never get myself in that trap, because then I start wearing other people's garbage, and you can't do that.
No, I'm not wearing his garbage.
No,
but
not you. I'm just saying,
I can
man.
see it.
I
I can
know.
see he can
I
do
can
it.
feel it for him.
I know he can do it. I mean, I know because I've got more data stored in my brain on this subject than any human walking the planet.
He's taking these $5 checks from Discover and thinking,
going,
you know what? I'm really hooking my son up for the future. It's like, man, brother.
Don't get me started.
Oh, what if you didn't have a house payment? You could give that to that little boy, right? Or instead of giving him a...
Or how about adding $50,000 to the equation for adoption while you're on the journey?
Oh, yeah.
And go ahead and knock it all out, baby.
That's exactly right.
Let's just put that in there, too, while we're at it. Ding, ding. See, the point being, folk, you can do this, but you know what the number one barrier of you doing this is you believing you can do it.
That's right. Number one.
And I can't make you believe. I can teach you, I can show you, I can be funny, I can yell at you, but I can't make you do it. But there they are, the two bookends, right here in 1 hour.
1 hour, man.
This is The Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. If you'd like to participate in the Dr. John Deloney Show, you can email him at askjohn@RamseySolutions.com, askjohn@RamseySolutions.com, or even call and leave a voicemail, and he'll get you on the phone and make you part of the program. It's a call-in show at 844-693-3291. Here at Ramsey Solutions, we want to transform so many lives that disruption spreads like wildfire across our country. Imagine a world where it's weird to have a student loan, where everybody pays cash for cars, where a credit card is the cigarette of the financial world. It's no longer cool. Imagine that level of disruption. Imagine a world where people have learned from Dr. John Deloney how to do their relationships at a whole different level. From Ken Coleman, how to run their careers at a whole different level. If you want to join us on a crusade that's transforming people, we're currently on the hunt for software engineers, Ruby on Rails, Java, C#, front-end technologies. If you're a UX designer, SEO, content marketing specialist, we're hiring about 300 people this year, and 150 of them are tech. And so if you want to actually do programming on something that matters and where you get to see the results of it, and by the way, work only 40 hours a week. We don't work 80 hours a week here. Even our coders don't work 80 hours a week here. Even our platform guys don't work 80 hours a week here. We go home to our families in the evenings. We're not confused about who's in charge here. If you want to find out about the available jobs, text WORK to 33789, WORK to 33789. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Even if you mismeasure or you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your window blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
All right, today's question comes from Stephen in Ohio. He says, I'm 29 and I work as a security guard, earning a little over $19,000 this year. I live with my girlfriend and her 2 sons, and I'm barely keeping my little family afloat. I'm stressed out because I can't get my girlfriend to be financially responsible, even though she says she's on board. She voluntarily cuts her work hours, leaving the bills to me. The only thing she helps with is groceries because she receives food stamps. How do I get her motivated about budgeting and saving? If she won't get on board, should I give up the last 2 years with her and these boys? Whew, man. Brother, you are being taken advantage of, and you are financially supporting somebody who's not invested in you or this family or their safety and security. And I know that's hard to hear because clearly you love this person and you love her kids, and you even refer to them as your little family. Right now, they're not. You are a outside participant who has been duped into paying for everything for everybody. This is hard. You can't get her motivated about budgeting and saving. You've tried. She's not interested in that. She's interested in you paying for her life and her boy's life while she does whatever she wants to do. This is heartbreaking, Dave.
Can you, can someone like her, is there a percentage chance she's brought around with the right scenario, or is this just walking papers?
I always default to Henry Cloud's famous saying, which is she needs some problems. Mm-hmm. She needs some challenges. Mm-hmm. Right now, she's got a guy who's not making hardly any. I mean, was he just barely over the poverty line here?
Yeah.
He's struggling. Security guard work is hard, and it's late nights, and it's exhausting, all that. And I think she needs, and I hate to say that because she's clearly had a hard time. She's got 2 boys. She's got a tough road ahead, but I think she's got to recognize, this just doesn't actually happen this way. And here's my guess, Dave, and this isn't fair because, again, these things you never know the full story here. If Steven left, there would be somebody new in relatively short order, I think. Mm-hmm. And I think Steven, I just read through the lines here, man, it looks like he is trying and working and thinking and dreaming. But it's got to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, so, I mean, a best case scenario is he says, okay, the number one thing that breaks up families and breaks up marriages is money and money fights. Yeah. Money problems and money fights. And you're having one and you're not even married.
Right.
And so to see a future of this getting better without an abrupt turn, a U-turn in the behaviors, then you're just kidding yourself. Because let me just tell you, if you go make 100,000, this doesn't get better.
It gets worse. It magnifies it.
It gets worse. It magnifies it.
And reading this thing, he cares more about this little family than she does.
Well, then she doesn't know how to. She doesn't have the tools.
That's right.
She doesn't have the tools. So if I always want to give somebody a shot.
Always.
So it wouldn't sound like I'm just done because you're just too stupid to help and I'm walking out of here, okay? So instead, but I also don't want you to live in denial and 4 years from now still be waiting on her to change, because that's BS, okay? But I would say something along the lines of, hey, number one thing breaks up families, and we're not even really technically a family yet, is money fights and money problems, and we got those. And so in order for me to stay here, and in order for us to move towards marriage and move towards life and me move into my new career and double my income, we're going to have to be on the same page about this. And that's going to be, we're going to get this family balanced and off of food stamps. You're going to be working, and I'm going to be working, and we're going to be living on less than we make, and we're going to be responsible. If you don't want to participate in that, then that's you saying, no, I don't want you here.
That's right. And that's
the price of me being here is that we're going to be grown-ups.
And that's Stephen looking in the mirror and saying, what do I need? Like, what do I need in my life that's going to help me see my reflection with dignity and respect and value? And right now he's trying to get that by solving everyone else's problems he can't, right? So that's him looking in the mirror saying, here's what I deserve.
The toxic, horrible old joke is, if you're going to marry a woman who loves spending money, you better enjoy making it.
Okay.
And that's obviously a backward, horrible joke, but especially in this setting. Yeah. but I mean, if you marry a princess, she ain't gonna grow up to be anything but a princess. Right. If you marry a guy who's lazy, he's not gonna grow up to be anything but lazy. If you marry these things, and so unless it's got to be a change. Unless moment. They have a moment and they have this epiphany, and sometimes that's an intervention of sorts. Yeah. That you're saying it's an ultimatum. You're saying, I don't see this going anywhere good 10 years from today, so I'm not going to do this anymore based on momentary feelings. Right. Now, if we can do these things, then I can change my mind about it going forward, and I think we can go forward. But even as much as I love you, I can't participate in this anymore. That's right. And that's what Henry Cloud, our friend, again, says is a necessary ending. It's when you lose hope that the future is going to get better.
That's right. And I think it's important to call this out. He says here at the end, if she won't get on board, should I give up the last 2 years?
Yes.
Dave, we see this in investing, and we see this in relationships, this sunk cost idea.
Yeah.
And I talk to so many people in the relationships that say, well, I've got 7 years in, and yeah, he's verbally abusive, but I've already got 7 years.
So what do you want more of it?
Another 5 years?
You want more?
7, right.
What 2 years are you giving up here? These 2 years kind of suck.
They sound like they've been really brutal on you, right?
Yeah, so bring me, thank you. May I have another? That's right. No, thank you. I think I'll pass on that.
I get the investment, man, but yes.
Sorry, it's not an investment. It's hard, man. It's when you didn't deal with this earlier is all that 2 years was. You should have dealt with you moved in with her. Yeah. You did all this stuff in the wrong order, and you set yourself up for failure, and that's where you're sitting today.
My heart's broken for both of them, man.
Yeah, it would be very cool if they could sit down with a marriage counselor, with a pastor, and someone guide them through getting on a long-term vision for their, in quotes, little family.
That's right.
So we're going to get married. We're going to both work. We're going to both be responsible. We're going to bring in more income.
We're going to model these little boys.
Get this thing off the poverty line so these little boys can have a better life. And we're going to be grown-ups because what we're dealing with here is he's got 3 kids.
That's exactly right. Making $19,000 a year.
Man or woman, it's not a man or woman thing. It's a child thing. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. Dr. John Deloney, good hour. Good hour to James Childs, our producer. Kelly Daniel, I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. You jump in, we'll talk about your life and your money. And his show, the Dr. John Deloney Show, is where he talks about relationships, talks about mental health, anxiety, depression, all kinds of wild stuff, and it's with regular, real people. They're not all crazy, and it's downright informative, entertaining, and a lot of times folks dealing with trauma, all kinds of things. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can find it on YouTube or anywhere great podcasts are listened to. So wherever you tune in for podcasts, you can catch him there, and be sure you do. Meantime, he's right here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jenna is with us in St. Paul. Hi, Jenna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Well, about 5 years ago, I took financial peace and was following the baby steps and made it through the first 3 baby steps and really enjoyed it, and just purchased about a year and a half ago my first home.
Good for you.
And yeah, it's half paid off, so it was really exciting.
Wow.
But yeah, it was really, really fun. But now I'm really nervous about retirement, and I haven't thought about baby step number 4. That whole investing piece makes me really nervous about, should I pay off the house first? Should I start investing? I'd rather pay off the house. But
So let me get this straight. You learned a financial process called the baby steps, and you've used them very, very successfully to get where you are. And you've done very well, by the way. And now you're wondering if they really work.
no, I had a conversation with my dad.
Man, you walked right into that one.
So,
Come on, Jenna.
Wait a minute. What happens after baby step 3, Jenna? Baby step 4. Baby step 4 is put 15% of your household income into retirement. If the first 3 baby steps worked, kiddo, the last 3 are going to work, and they're going to lead you right to wealth.
Yeah, I think the thing that's really intimidating about baby step number 4 is just feeling like I don't understand the process as much as when I had a number. Good. I was like, oh, I'm saving for a down payment. I feel like I'm making progress.
Good. You know, but you'd never bought a house before, right?
No.
Was closing that house not a little bit intimidating and scary?
It scared me to death.
Yeah, first time I closed on one, scared the pee out of me. So I understand, okay? I get it. But that was a brand new thing, and you went and learned how to do that because it was worth learning how to do. And so the same thing's true with investing. When you get off, you click SmartVestor at Ramsey Solutions. You sit down with one. You remember they have the heart of a teacher. Why do they need the heart of a teacher? Because Jenna needs to learn, because when she learns, she's not scared anymore.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
First time you drove a car, you sucked at it. Me too.
Yep.
I threw gravel all over the garage door because I didn't know you didn't just step all the way down on the accelerator. I thought you just hit it, you know? And so that you learn. Everything you do is a learning process. And now I drive a car and don't think about it. And most people don't think at all, and it shows in the way they drive their car. But I mean, again, investing will be the same thing. You're going to learn about it. The good news is it's not rocket science. You don't have to be a brain surgeon to do it. You just have to go sit down with somebody and begin to learn a little bit. Oh, by the way, get the Financial Peace University materials back out. or I'll plug you back in, and you can go to Ramsey Plus and get back in it and go through the investing lesson again and kind of go back over it. Because when you went through the first time, you were just worried about debt. You really weren't concentrating on the investing stuff that we teach, and now you'll probably hear it at a different level, you think?
Yeah, I think it was definitely something that I didn't think about, the investing piece. The thing that made me apprehensive was my dad is really good with finances, and we had a question the other day. He had really encouraged me, like, maybe you do want to pay off your house first. Yeah. And that made me question. So I said, I was thinking about calling Dave.
Listen, if you want to follow your dad's plan, it's okay, but you called me.
Nope, that's what we decided to do. So thank you so much.
So I'm gonna give you my plan, not your dad's plan, again. And so hold on, and Kelly will pick up, and we'll make sure we get you plugged in. And so I want you to go watch the mutual fund and investing lesson again in Financial Peace University. Kelly will get you set up to do that on Ramsey Plus. And then I want you to sit down with SmartVestor Pro, and I want you to take your time. There's no rush, but let's get to going 15% of your income into retirement in good growth stock mutual funds like we teach. And then, it doesn't sound like you're married or got kids, so you don't need to worry about baby step 5 for kids' college. And then anything else above 15% you can find in your budget, we'll go and get your house paid off too, because we do want to do that. We just don't want to avoid something because it scares us. Because there's two things that scare us. Things that should scare us and things we just don't understand yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
False evidence appearing real.
Yeah, I resonate with that call, less for the information. I've got a great SmartVestor Pro, more because I've convinced myself that I can't breathe underneath owing anybody anything at any time. And so there's that balance of could I race and pay the house off versus do it the right way and slow down and be investing along the way too. Yeah. And it's less an information and more of a psychological issue for me.
Well, and here's the thing. It's easy to understand. If you know nothing about investing, it's scary as crud. Yeah. The first time you actually open a mutual fund account and put money in there. Because it's in this faraway land known as New York, right? On Wall Street, whatever that is.
And everyone on the news is yelling about it.
Yeah, and they're all throwing stuff down there. It's crazy, and at each other and yelling and all this. And what is this thing? And how's all that work? And paying off debt, I understand it. I give them money, and there's less debt. Yeah. This is a fairly simple transaction, about as primitive as it gets. So it's, again, Jenna, your concern, your feeling is not invalid. Yeah. It's not invalid at all. But the point is the people that win push past that and get their head around new information, which gives them a new reality for their future. And it changes the direction of your life. That's what, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Get new information. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be married that way. I want to be married that way. And so I need to learn what those people over there that seem to have their act together are doing. I see these people, their children are completely out of control. The inmates are running the asylum. And then I see these people whose children are like, they're functional and stuff. And they're not running up the side of the wall and stuff and running through, throwing stuff at the glass or whatever, all this kind of thing. And they go, okay, I want those, I don't want those. Right. How did you do that? That's new information. Yeah. And you gather that information and you change your life. That's what transformation does. This is The Ramsey Show. Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, my co-host today. If you really love the work you do, is it fulfilling for you? You know, I come to work right now because I get fired up about what we do here. I make money, but I don't work for money, and I haven't for a long, long time. Ken Coleman, America's career coach, has taken his years of proven experience to launch one seriously power-packed bundle that combines the pre-order of his new book, From Paycheck to Purpose, and the new Get Clear assessment. This is your clear path to finding and doing work you love. My team has packaged our new book and career assessment into the Ultimate Career Bundle. All of this, book, assessment, everything, if you buy the bundle, is only $30. Now, if you buy the assessment, it's $30. So it doesn't make sense. Don't do that. Don't do that. The bundle will show you how to find your talents, your passions, your mission, find a job that combines all three so that you can actually do the work you love. This assessment will even give you a list of professional career options based on your results, and it's not like the old days. This is highly dialed-in stuff. Plus, you can pick between the Get Hired bonus pack and the Get Promoted bonus pack and receive for free $100 worth of other goodies. So you want to check all this out. You don't have to buy the lie that work is unfulfilling. Get the Ultimate Career Bundle. Go to the online store at RamseySolutions.com and get the new bundle for only $30. When you do, again, you're going to get over $100 worth of goodies. Jennifer is in Houston. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.
A quick question. We are on baby step 4, 6, and 7. We completed baby step 3, but my husband and I have a difference of what that looks like. So would we save 3 to 6 months worth closer to 3 or 6? And does that, if we say if I lose my job today, right, I'm not going to go get my nails and hair done. So down to the bare minimum, or what actual 6-month spending looks like.
Probably between these two at your stage. And you can pick the 3 or the 6 month. That's not the issue. But then, is it absolute bare bones, or does it mean no hair, no nails, all that kind of stuff? So, what's your household income?
About $160.
Yeah. And how old are your 2 cars?
How old? I just bought a car for cash, a 2014 Lexus, and he has a 14 Expedition.
Okay, you got 2 good cars.
In good shape.
Yeah,
low miles.
Yeah, you're not dying on cars. So here's the thing that I discovered, and the reason I'm asking these things: when you're broke and you're just getting started, you remember those years back in the day?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Everything's a freaking emergency because you're broke.
Right. And
you're driving junk cars. And, you haven't done all the maintenance on the house, so even more stuff's breaking. And so it's like the fact that you're broke is inviting more strain on the emergency fund. Later on, when you've got more money and the air conditioner is getting serviced regularly on the house, and as soon as there's one little thing on the roof, you fix it immediately. It doesn't leak and create a bigger mess. And you're driving decent cars, so they're not breaking down. And you don't wait until there's a flat tire you happen to notice when they're getting a little bare, and you go change them out early, where when you're broke, you have to drive them until they blow, And so what happens is you get more margin in all these areas of your life. So the weird thing is the more money you get, the less need of an emergency fund you have, because there's fewer emergencies. Is that logical?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have 2 15-year-olds and a 4-year-old. And then the only other factor would be that I'm wondering if we should pile it up a little more. I hate my job. I've been looking at Ken Coleman's stuff, and my performance has not been where it should be, just because I'm just making myself get up and go to work every day. Should we add a little more to it for that?
No, that's not an emergency.
Okay.
That's a transition. If you want to set some money to the side for job transition, you can do that. Feel free.
Okay.
Feel free. Set you 10 or 15, 20 grand over there for job transition, but let's not confuse that with the emergency fund. The emergency fund's for emergencies. This is not an emergency. This is a problem we need to fix.
Right.
Christmas is not an emergency. It's always in December. It's predictable. It's predictable that 2 years from today, you're not going to be working at that place.
God, I hope not.
And Jennifer, listen, can I, you didn't even ask this. Can I push on you for a second?
Please do.
Please don't sacrifice your dignity and your respectability and your work ethic and say things like, my job performance is slipping just because I don't feel like going anymore. If you're still employed there and still taking their money, show up and give 1,000%. And then when you're looking for jobs, give 1,000% on your job transition. But it will keep you from walking 6 inches lower, right, with your head held high. You will walk with your head held high, your chin held up. You will clean out your desk when you get that new job with a smile on your face.
Yeah, don't. You're not a person that mails it in.
No.
That's not who you are.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, go ahead and make the transition and set some money aside for that. And if you want to, what's happening is that transition is scaring you, and that's what's making you want to put the emergency fund on up. And so, put $25,000 over there right quick in the next few months to make this transition. That's a transition fund. It's not an emergency fund. And then you won't be worried about your emergency fund anymore, because your emergency fund probably just fine.
I love that idea, Dave. So that's a transition, a new baby coming. You need to get a new car. None of those are emergencies. Those are just, we need to have a sinking fund that we create and save up for that.
Yeah. You know what the problem is, and it's not her situation, but it's just all of us in America. We were just taught to have a savings account.
That's it. That's exactly right. One.
And you know what a savings account is? It's a put and take account.
Mm-hmm.
You put money in there, you take it out. Put money in there, and take it out and buy a bass boat. Put money in there, fix air conditioner. Put money in there, put stitches in the kid's head. Mm-hmm. Put money in there. It's a put and take, put and take, put and take. And so it's all this stuff is combined in this one general account that you always watch it, and it just never seems to do what it's supposed to do, because no one knows what it's really supposed to do.
And it's never enough. Or look at all that money I got, right?
Yeah. And when you separate out your savings and you say every savings dollar has to have a job, a mission, an assignment. Okay, this one's job is transition. This one's job is Christmas. This one's job is car replacement. And this one's job is emergencies. And don't confuse them.
I love that.
Buying a bass boat is not an emergency. There is no situation ever on planet Earth in which you can describe a bass boat purchase as an emergency. It's not on the list. I can emotionally get there, but intellectually we're all laughing right now.
Right.
And so, that's I was forced to buy a new car. No, you aren't. They didn't have a gun. You chose to buy a new car. And so these are the things, but that's the reason, and it helped me a ton. Because my nature's I'm not naturally a saver. It helped me a ton to say these things have a goal, because I am goal-oriented. And once I have something with a goal, then ding, 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 I can do it.
I'm writing that down. Every savings dollar has a job too. Different than your light bill or your food or what. Every dollar you are saving has a job as well.
And it's a little bit of the frustration of when you're investing just in general. Mm-hmm. And what do? We call it, we're saving for retirement.
Yeah. What does that even mean?
What does retirement even mean? Mm-hmm. And, we started saying a few years ago around here, retirement's not a number. It's not a number. It's not a destination. It's not a thing. So all we're really saying is we want to build some wealth.
Yeah.
But when you don't even have that, it's just very vague. It's like, I just want a big pile of money.
Yeah.
It's not motivating.
Nope.
But if you say, I want to build a hospital for children, and that's going to cost $40 million. I need $40 million. Now you got something you're aiming at, right?
Now we can go get it.
Yeah, then you can go get it. You got a reason for doing this. It changes everything. Very cool stuff. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, my co-host today. This is The Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Jared and Katie are with us. Hey, guys, how are ya?
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome,
We're
welcome.
great.
Good to have you guys. So here to do a debt-free scream. How much did you pay off?
We paid off $110,000 in
Wow.
9 months.
Good for you.
9 months?
Yeah.
And your
9
range of income during that time?
200 to 250.
What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a digital marketing analyst.
Mm-hmm.
And I am in marketing and sales for a large media company.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Good for you guys. Great careers, obviously. Great income. What kind of debt was the $110,000?
Mostly credit card debt. So small portion was car payment, but it wasn't very much. It was about $6,000 for the car.
That's a lot of credit card debt. How long have you guys
was.
been married?
19 years.
19 years?
19
Did you get
years.
married when you were 4?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I was about to say 3 or 4 years. Y'all look so young. Wow.
19 years.
Yes.
Okay, so is this like 19 years of slightly overspending every year and you looked up and it was 90 or 100 grand? Or was it like you had 2 or 3 little events and you just went nuts?
I'd say we never really had a budget. We didn't really know how to do it and didn't really think about it. And then we had a house and it flooded and we had moved to Tennessee and we were going to rent it out. It was in Virginia and we just, that was a big portion of it,
Paying 2
mortgage.
mortgages, essentially.
Oh,
so,
okay.
That escalated it to the 100,000 range.
For sure.
Okay. So half of it was just steady stupidity and then half of it was big problems.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. All
Which
right.
is always how it goes, right?
So a year or so ago, right at COVID time, the phone rang and there was a wake-up call. You had an oh crap moment or something. What happened? Tell me about it.
Yeah, we were finally able to sell the other house. So it was hit by a storm, and it took them 4 years to rebuild it. Wow. And we finally sold it and got it off the market.
But we didn't make any money off of it.
Yeah, we didn't make any money off of it. And we looked at where we were, and we're like, well, this is horrible. We can't continue to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we make too much money to be this broke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we were just juggling our debt. Well, I was just juggling our debt, and then I was keeping some of it from her so she wouldn't realize how bad
it
off
was.
we were.
Mm.
So
Whoa. How's that conversation?
that's hard.
I didn't know as much as I should have, and I just was assuming it was going to get better, and we'll figure out college for the kids. And when we had that conversation, it took a little bit of counseling, a little bit of talking, and we talked about the book, and we decided to gung-ho go all in.
Yeah, I knew we had to do something. I reached out to my friend Carolyn, who works here, and just said, hey, I really have some debt that I need to take care of. I know you work with Dave. What do you got any tips?
Is all that stuff real or not?
Yeah. Does that work? And the next day, literally the next day, I had your book in my mailbox. She was like, almost like she hand delivered it to me.
Yeah.
And I read it, and then Katie read it, and we said, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. And it's been the best thing.
So the total money makeover baby steps just go all in.
All in.
All in.
Wow.
It's all or nothing.
We got the kids on board. They were super psyched.
How old are your kids?
We have twins that are 14, and one is 12.
Ah, okay. Wow. So Jared, most of the time when I hear she didn't know about all of the debt, there's a percentage of the time it's you're just being deceitful and you're doing all this crap on the side you didn't want to know about. But most of the time, that's not what it is. Most of the time, it's like, this is my job, and I feel ashamed that I have failed and let this get this bad, and I don't want to admit it out loud.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what it was? It was holding back? Because it wasn't like you were setting out to deceive her.
No, it was my responsibility to take care of her. I felt that, obviously that's not true, but...
But that's the tapes that play.
Yeah. It's my responsibility. I'm head of household. I'm going to fix this eventually. Let me just keep it in the air until I can deal with it.
Yeah.
So it was rough. That was hard on our marriage, too. So
yeah. What was the moment you said, we need to talk?
It was after that.
When the house sold.
Yeah, when the house sold, that was kind of the kicker. It was like, okay, what does this do for us? This is we're still in the same spot. We want to buy a house. We've been renting here for 6 years, and we love Franklin, Tennessee. It's amazing. Wanted to buy a house, and it was now like, well, how are we going to do that? I still have, and I didn't even know we had $100,000 in debt.
You didn't even add it up.
Yeah. It was so unattainable to be debt free that I just didn't even care at that point. Why even look at it? I'm just juggling.
Yeah. So, Katie, not to put you guys on the spot, but this is a great story of redemption, really, and it's good for other people to hear.
Yeah.
Because what you guys have gone through is like almost everybody goes through this exact same thing. So he comes in and says, "I gotta talk." He's kind of like laying down his pride and saying, "This is screwed up. It's on me, but it's worse than you ever dreamed." What did you hear when he said that?
Yeah, it was very hard to hear that was the reality. And I actually did feel like I had some responsibility too. It's my job to also know.
It is, but I'm saying, but was it like fear that you heard?
Yes.
Or was
there was some
mad,
anger.
mad at him for not telling the truth, or what?
No,
yes,
and she's too nice to admit it. She was angry. There was a lot of anger, and it took me a while to understand why. It's like, well, this is, it's my job, and
but part of it's angry because you're in the whole situation,
right?
And part of it is because he didn't tell you.
Yeah, of course, that we're never going to get through it. We're never going to get out of it. Why did I not know? Why didn't you tell me? And we've somewhat dealt with this earlier in our marriage, and it was just a big pile of it, and we wanted to finally get to a good place.
Well, the reason I bring it up is you're a great example of a healthy way of handling this, because most people don't handle it healthy.
That's right. It explodes, right? And then there's shrapnel everywhere, and especially on those 3 beautiful little kids, right?
And and we couldn't let that happen. And that was the beautiful thing about this, is the kids got to see us actually do this, and we get to explain to them, this is why we're not doing everything we used to do, and this is why I'm saying no to this, and
we're going to do it right,
and we're doing it together, which
and they smell the air change in your marriage.
Yes.
The cleanliness and the connectivity, you can't keep that. That stuff's in the air.
That's right.
Yeah.
And this is a whole other show, but you alluded to it a little bit. A conversation like, hey, we're $100,000 in credit card debt and I haven't told you. There's other stuff y'all needed to talk about too. Yeah. And the oxygen filtering your home is lighter now, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody in your home is different now because y'all had the courage to put on the table, to forgive one another, to say I'm sorry, and to say let's build something new.
Were
right?
you there?
No.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
and
it's made our marriage 100% better. So,
well, congratulations. You changed an entire legacy of those 3 little boys. You've changed your legacy, and there's millions of people who are stuck.
Thanks for
like
letting us drag all that out, because it's not for you. It's for all the 22 million people listening, because everybody, if you can go, hey, everybody messes up, but there's hope the other side of the mess up, so congratulations.
Good for you guys.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Gazelle focus.
Okay. All right.
Communication is the key to everything, right? Communication is the key to marriage, but
for sure in this story,
it's just focus and keep going. Just keep going.
You made plenty of money, so as soon as you just decided and both of you were game on and everything's on the table, you just went after it.
Oh yeah, and most of that was going to credit card interest.
Yeah, just boom, just have a plastic surgery party and go to town.
Yeah. It was just focus.
Well, we've got a copy of the Legacy Journey for you and the Total Money Makeover, another one, so you can give that one away to somebody, because you probably know somebody like your friend Carol that works here knew somebody. So there you go. Congratulations. I'm very proud of you. You're a very cool couple. I love it. Very neat. $110,000 paid off in 9 months, making $200 to $250. It's Jared and Katie from Nashville. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
I love it!
So cool.
Yes. Your show and this show will always be intertwined.
Always.
This is The Ramsey Show. Dave Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Brianna is with us in Cincinnati. Hi, Brianna. How are you?
Hi, I'm blessed. How are y'all?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I just had a question. So I'm 23. I have 2 kids under 5, and I want to go back to school. I've been taking some online classes towards like a associate's degree, but I'm ready to actually like put it in full gear and get a degree in economics so I can better our life. It's just scary to leave my job that I have now and pursue that. So I just wanted to ask.
You're single?
Yeah. Well, I'm married, but we're separated, so that's a whole nother talk, I guess.
Okay. And what is the goal career-wise with an economics degree?
Well, I think it's just like I want to go to law school, so I was looking at degrees that, could give me other opportunities if I ended up not wanting to go to law school, but I've always wanted to, so...
So, honey, I worked at a law school.
Analysis.
I worked at a law school.
Yeah.
They'll take you. Man, we had students with literature degrees and psychology degrees and math degrees and analyst degree. Economics by itself doesn't sound like a degree that's going to be easy to roll out of law school with. Data analyst, yeah, absolutely, yes. Business, yes. Economics, I don't know a lot about that, but I don't think that's as viable as an option as you think it might be.
Okay.
So here, what John has a PhD in higher education. He's worked in universities his whole life. Okay. Until just a couple years ago when he came here, and so what we're looking for is if you don't go to law school, which degree that could have gotten you into law school also gets you into a great job if you choose not to go to law school. That's what he's talking about.
And so right now, any job will get you any degree will get you into law school. So let's put that on the back burner and go with what Dave's about to talk about.
Let's get a degree that gets you into a position to make money, because that's what you're looking at, is how to better your life. Now, how in the world are you paying for all of this, including feeding these 2 kids while you do all of this?
Yeah, so I make $10.22 an hour right now, and I'm barely at work because I'm the only caretaker. So I'm barely even making any money, but I'm on food stamps, of course. I live in public housing, so I'm blessed to that aspect, but I really just want to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Get out of poverty. My whole family's got the history. I just want to get out, so yeah.
Yes, agreed. And how are you paying for it?
College financial aid is covering it.
Okay, so you're going to go Pell Grant straight up.
Yeah, but student loans are tempting, because of my situation. So
they'll guarantee that you stay in poverty is what they'll do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't go away. They don't leave. They stick around forever until you pay them. They're a problem. So Pell Grants will cover your tuition, correct?
Yeah, they'll cover a bachelor. So the law school is another story, but
law school you can probably get scholarshiped to as a single mother living on public assistance. You're probably going to find a law school that wants you and wants to pay for it for you. That would be a doable thing.
Absolutely. The goal here, what I don't want you to do is put the cart before the horse. Your job is you've got a journey ahead of you, and what you really want to do now that you've made this decision to get out of poverty, you want to do it tomorrow, and that's not going to be your journey. Your journey is going to be going to school, fighting every temptation to take out a loan that you're going to have to turn on and pay back, and you're going to get through it debt-free, and you're going to work, and you're going to be exhausted, and you're going to have to call on friends and family, and you're going to have to meet people, and you're going to have to ask for help, and you're going to grind and grind and grind, and then you're going to end up with a bachelor's degree that is free and clear that nobody can ever take away from you.
That you don't owe a dime on.
None. It's yours.
Now we're in a position to, if you do this in a way that is the way we're talking about it, and if you select a degree that lands you in a type of career that that not only prospers you, but that you enjoy. Okay?
Yeah, that's my main concern, too.
Yeah. So what I want you to do is jump on KenColeman.com and go through a bunch of his materials. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you the Get Clear assessment and the Ken Coleman's new book coming out, From Paycheck to Purpose. I'm going to give you that whole bundle free. Kelly will pick up and get that all set up for you. Now, the book won't come until later because it doesn't come out until November, but we'll send you the assessment now. I want you to take the assessment tonight.
Okay.
And I want you to use that to help guide you into what you want to study so that you're studying something that fits your talents, your passions, your mission, and you're looking at it and going, okay, if I was one of those, I could make $80,000 a year, and now I'm done with this poverty crap.
Yeah.
And that's if I don't go to law school. So let's plan this out that you're not going to law school.
Okay.
And then if you go to law school, it's gravy on the biscuit.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
And Brianna, you are changing a family system, so you know what you're going to need in your life? You're going to need strong, brilliant women who you can have coffee with, who will be honest with you, but who have managed businesses before, who have graduated college, who've walked the road you're about to walk because you're heading off into the woods by yourself because your family, the models, the pictures you have don't include this.
And their pictures of you don't include it. And so they're not going to, they don't mean to be mean, but there's something about a family system that'll drag you back down to their level every time unless you got a real breakthrough group around you.
Okay.
So when you go to class, I want you to get involved. And I know it's hard. You got 2 little kids, and every minute
you feel weird, like you're the old woman.
You will provide
at
so
23.
much wisdom and value for them, and vice versa. And this will become your community. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Thank you.
You're incredible.
You're amazing.
Your kids are going to be blessed to have walked this journey with you, okay?
But find some people that walk, look, and talk and are like you want to be in 5 years and hang out with them. They will lift you up to there. People who are not there will hold you down to where they are.
Okay.
You become who you hang around with.
And those kids' dad needs to put some money on the table, too.
Yeah, well, that's part of this little separation here. Yeah, but good luck with that.
Yeah.
Should. That's the.
Whew. Yeah. That's a whole other call. That gets my blood pressure boiling.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw that little thing happen on your forehead there, the little bump. Yeah. So, that's. But here's the thing. You're a hero, kiddo.
Oh,
Hang on.
Stud.
Kelly will pick up. We'll get you in the Get Clear assessment. Take that tonight. I'm going to furnish it to you free, along with all of Ken's goodies and bundle on his new book and everything, because that's what you're exactly where you need to be. Because sometimes, folks, you if no one in your family or your friend group has ever taken this journey, then you can take the journey wrong because you don't have a good guide.
Right.
And the biggest mistakes in the student loan debacles that are out there in terms of how much debt they go into and studying stupid, unusable degrees come from first-generation college students. No one in their family ever went to college before, and everybody in the family wants them to go to college, but nobody knows how to do it wisely.
That's exactly right.
And that's how you end up $260,000 in debt with a degree in left-handed puppetry.
Right.
Because all education is good. Horse crap.
Right.
No, it's not. All education is valuable. No, it's not. Not all education has a market value that is worth what you pay for it. Definitely not.
Right.
There's some more valuable than others. But, so you got to get a bit utilitarian about this and go, what is the actual application in the marketplace? Big deal.
That first decision's big, and she's there.
Amen.
Now she's got to do it right.
Amen. Bust through, girl.
Good for her.
You call us anytime you need some help. We're here. We're not going anywhere. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, this is James, senior producer for The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? And a lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, head to theramseyshow.com.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. It's a free call here. Some say the advice is worth exactly what you pay for it. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. The Dr. John Deloney Show is all about boundaries, anxiety, mental health. In this crazy world we live in, you need somebody sane to talk to, and he's your guy. He's on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on a new podcast every one of those 3 days, anywhere great podcasts are found, and it's streamed on YouTube as well. So be sure and check it out. And the Dr. John Deloney Show, the fastest growing program in the Ramsey lineup these days, absolutely exploding. So he's here right now also to answer your questions. The phone number again, 888-825-5225. Sebastian's in Little Rock. Hi, Sebastian. How are you?
Hey, guys. I'm doing great. I'm needing some career advice over here.
Okay.
So I'm 21 years old. Just got married like 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
Paid off. Thank you. We just paid off my wife's student loans, about $20,000.
Wow.
And now I'm thinking about going to graduate school, and I just want to know if that's the, next right move for me.
What do you want to go to grad school for?
So I want to go to, the big schools. I want to go to MIT or Stanford and get my PhD in data science, just because I love all that stuff, and I've been involved with research a lot during my undergrad years. And as far as I know, grad school for especially that program, it's all paid for. Like you have a stipend that you live off, and then they pay for your books and insurance and tuition and all that, right?
Yep.
But financially speaking, if I did get my PhD and I got the same job, like right out of college, I'll probably just be making 10 to 15% more by having that PhD degree. So I'm kind of debating if it's really worth, spending 4 or 5 years into working on your thesis, working on a research project, just to get that little bit more extra cash at the end.
So there was, it's been a couple of years since I read this study, so I'm going to butcher it up a little bit, but distilled all the way down, if you can get into a PhD program in data science at one of those two schools, the connections you make inside that program, meaning the folks who are creating businesses that would co-create businesses with you, that would co-create new knowledge that y'all would go on to build new products, etc., could have a potential and infinite return. And so if you're able to, if you were my friend and you said, hey, I have an opportunity to go get a free PhD in data science at MIT or at Stanford, I would say, I will come visit you in Boston or Southern California. Or Central California. The other side of it is, ask yourself, is that the life you want? Because you are right. The next 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 years of your life will be chasing down a problem, a central problem. We'll be writing papers, doing math equations, going to things, and not making a whole bunch of money. And if you have the computational power inside your own head to get into those programs, you have the opportunity to go earn money right now, a whole lot of it. Right?
Right.
What's your undergrad in again?
So my undergrad will be in computer science, engineering physics, and applied mathematics.
Okay. Yeah, so you got to ask yourself, what life do you want to live?
So ideally in my mind, I would like to start my own business, have like a startup idea that relates to AI or machine learning, and then be able to, be able to run that business and also spend time with my family and my wife.
So do you have the benefit of going to those programs is it's iron sharpens irons. You're running around the smartest minds on the planet in some of those areas. And do you have the ability from wherever you are in Little Rock to start an AI company that's going to, does that make sense? Do you have the tools that you need at your disposal, or is being around that type of sparring partner going to be worth your time?
Hypothetically, yes, I do have the tools and the ability to do that right now. Practically, though, it will be more challenging. It's not the same, being in the Valley, in Silicon Valley, developing ideas and all that, than being in Little Rock.
Sure.
But so that's
what do you
what
think,
I'm
Dave?
debating.
I think the MIT PhD issue it sounds really fun and really challenging, and in a lot of ways, I think the play there is for 1/2 of a 1% probability. It's a very narrow play.
That you can actually get in and get that deal.
Well, no. You can get in and get through it. I think this guy can do that. But then what do you actually end up doing with that makes that beneficial?
Right.
It's a very small play.
And if you
if you hit it, it's a home run.
That's right.
But it's not as broad a play. The broader play that has a higher probability is to say, I'm going to go right now and get a job as a data analyst with some of the top data analyst people in the world at a tech-based company that's really forward-thinking and is doing a bunch of AI stuff, and I'm going to get in there and rub shoulders with those guys in the business world, and I'm going to make 100 the first year, 200, 300 the third year, and then I'm going to be from that in a position with my business acumen and having rubbed shoulders with some guys, put a little bit longer in the tooth. I'll be in a position to start a business. That you obviously, to start and run a data analyst business, you do not need a PhD.
Absolutely not.
The only benefit of the other thing is the iron sharpens iron and hanging around with smart people, and you become smarter as a result of doing that. So
or if you want to be a professor someday, which you told me you don't want to, right?
Yeah,
you want to start your own business.
He wants to run his own business. And run your own business, the lift is probably not worth the trip.
No. And if you want a life that I want to hang out with my family, I want to make some money, I want to go get a great job, man.
Yeah, and I think you go get in. And here's the other thing: the particular field that you're in. I mean, we've got 450 tech folk on our team. Data analysts, we've got data scientists, we've got platform engineers, and people that do stuff. I'm not even sure what they do, and they're on our payroll, but and they're unbelievably smart.
Oh, they're incredible.
Unbelievably smart. We got a real tech company here hidden behind a radio show. And but the what I have figured out, having written all these checks for these people for years now, is that the rate of change in your world, Sebastian, is blinding.
Yes.
While you are doing this PhD, the world is going to completely change 4 times. And, and I think you'll have a better chance of staying up with that change in industry than you will in academia. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know enough about. I would hope that if you're studying AI, it's moving ahead of where the industry is. That's my hope. But who knows, man?
Maybe you're leading the industry.
That's exactly
you're out of
right.
MIT.
Yeah.
That could be. But you got to keep up with the rate of change either place.
That's right.
Because 4 years from today, you're going to be obsolete in that world if you haven't kept up with the rate of change.
If you're not ready for a PhD program, if you're not 100% in, go get a job, make great money, be with your family, and start from there.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Does it feel like no matter how hard you work, you can't seem to get ahead? You're stuck? I know how that feels. It's exhausting. Sometimes it's even terrifying. You don't have to live like that. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, decide that you're ready to do something about it. You're ready to do something different so you get different results. It's time to commit to a plan that actually works. Financial Peace University is the step-by-step plan that's helped over 6 million people pay off debt and take control of their money. Combine that with a premium version of the Every Dollar budgeting tool, and you will make progress right away. And it's only available with a membership to Ramsey Plus. Decide today to break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. This month only, we're taking $30 off the price of a 12-month membership. Start with a free trial of Ramsey Plus today. Text TRIAL to 33789. The free trial. Text TRIAL to 33789. Hugo is in Maryland. Hi, Hugo. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, John. How are you guys?
Great, man. What's up?
Hey, so I have a question about your recommended growth and aggressive growth mutual funds, which I know they translate loosely into mid-caps and small-cap funds. Within those funds, there are blend funds, which have growth and value stocks. What do you think of blend funds as opposed to just strictly using a growth investment strategy in those specific market caps?
Either one's fine. What you're looking for is a track record, a long track record, giving you a positive rate of return. It's that simple. And so, I mean, if you want to compare some that's got some blends and some value in it, and it outperforms a straight-on growth strategy across the board, and you're comfortable with that, that's fine. It still qualifies. The bottom line is we're participating in the stock market in a way that beats the indexes. That's what you're looking for. And so, if you're in the growth area, then you'd want to outperform the S&P. If you're in the aggressive growth, you'd want to outperform the Russell. And that's your index. That's your benchmark, your watermark. Otherwise, you could just invest in the index funds, which is the Bogle strategy. John Bogle's famous for that. He started the no-load S&P 500 at Vanguard, the very first one, and started the whole passive investment movement. Because a high percentage of mutual funds, over half of them, don't outperform the indexes. So what you're looking for, regardless of what the internal mix is something that generally fits those categories and will beat those indexes. That's how I pick my personal funds. But it's really not rocket science. And here's the other thing. It's very good that you're asking this question. It's a very intelligent question. It's a question that indicates you're a fairly sophisticated investor. This is not your first ride on the cabbage truck.
Definitely not.
Let me warn you, though, about something that we found in the millionaire study that we did. The vast majority of those millionaires were mediocre in their sophistication of investing. Sometimes guys like you and me that are a little more nerdy and we enjoy the nuance of all of this, because I'm having fun talking to you about it. Can you tell? And so we enjoy the nuance of it. We can get paralysis of the analysis and do nothing, while the other guy does a lot of things but just does the medium, and he kicks our butt in total net worth when the story's over. In other words, in actually doing the investing, mediocre versus not doing it and having a bunch of theories makes people rich. And so that's the thing you don't want to get caught up in and go, I get paralyzed by these nuanced comparisons. And, so, I mean, like people come at me all the time and they're like, oh, you should just do the Bogle thing and just do all indexes. Hey, if you just do all indexes and you put 15% of your income into retirement, you're going to be a multimillionaire. I got no problem with that. Go do it.
Do something.
Yeah, go do it. But that's better than sitting around having a big, long, lengthy discussion. You're writing a money blog in your mother's basement.
Or going from Bitcoin to the next thing to the
Beanie Babies
thing to
Beanie Babies to
cards
Bitcoin.
to whatever.
That's going to be the chapter of my next title of my next chapter. Beanie Babies to Bitcoin.
I like it.
It's a get rich quick chapter.
That's right.
You know, and so you're chasing your tail and you're not, because I actually did have dubers back in the day say they were investing their money in Beanie Babies.
Absolutely, I remember them.
They were just, and they're like, I put my kids' college in Beanie Babies. I thought they were joking.
Nope.
But you know, there's just, and you know, if it's not that, it's the Iraqi dinar, or there's always some stupid. And now Hugo's not doing that.
Right.
He's just asking for the nuances within the nuances within the things that we suggest. So he's still fine. He's in bounds.
Right.
He's in bounds. He's going to get a touchdown.
But something about that question sets off in you when you start going real deep, you're dangerously close to doing nothing, or to just needing to read another paper and one more paper.
Well, here's the thing. The interesting thing is the data tells us that what makes people wealthy is actually investing more so than the rate of return.
Ta-da!
That's the thing. You know, and that is lost on people who love looking for a tenth of a point on something. They're shaving something. And again, I'm not picking on Hugo, but
no, it's great.
But you know, it's one of the biggest knocks on Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, I actually do know what I'm doing because I actually get people to freaking invest.
Right.
Which is more important than all this other BS people talk about.
Gotcha.
And again, not picking on Hugo because I love having these discussions. I love nerding out on this stuff. But and I love digging around in the mutual funds, scratching around in there, trying to find one beats the index just to prove I can out Bogle, right? But Bogle's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of democratized investing in a sense because it's anybody can do it. Just take the dadgum index fund and go to sleep. And you know, it's freaking car will automatically drive itself, you know. But if you'll keep doing that, you'll be a multimillionaire.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But there's a lot of other factors that come in. If I can just get you to invest and never stop investing anytime there's a COVID blip, you know, a war, a scare of this or a scare of that,
toilet paper,
or whatever it is, whatever reason it is that you're next scared about the stock market. If I can just get you to ignore that and just keep going, man, 99% of the time I'm gonna make you rich doing that. Even if we screw up and, those aren't no-load mutual funds. They charge commissions. Well, who gives a crap? Yeah. You know, you're actually doing it, and the guy that's getting the commissions causing you to keep doing it, and if you keep doing it, you're going to have money. So I love Hugo. I love these ideas and these questions, but it's a little bit frustrating because a math guy like me, we wish it was a little bit tricky.
More complex.
So we could figure out the little trick, and we could go do it, you know.
That's exactly
and all the regular people that aren't math nerds couldn't do it.
Yes.
But the problem is, anybody can do it.
Exactly right.
If you just do it and 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 do it. Good question though, Hugo. Thank you, man. It's fun discussion. Keith's in Phoenix. Hey, Keith, what's up?
Gentlemen, thanks for taking my call, and I'm not sure my question is going to be as exciting as the last one, but nevertheless...
I'll help you out, Keith.
Not anything much more exciting than comparing value funds, I'm just saying.
Well, I'll give it a shot anyway, but so here's the deal. We're my wife and I are halfway to a fully funded emergency fund. We're looking at about March of next year to be done.
Good.
With that, but we have two cars, and one of them, because of the values being a little bit higher now, we're contemplating whether we should sell one of those, which we could probably get about $45,000 for. We need about $20,000 more to fund that emergency fund, but I'm a little bit hesitant to do that. So
what's
I'm just kind of looking for
household
some,
income?
We're about 140, 150.
What's the other car worth?
The other car, the second car, is worth about $5,000.
I'd keep it.
But they're both paid for.
I'd keep the $45,000 car. It's not out of line.
Okay.
It's not a problem. Because here's what's going to happen. If you sell that car, this time next year, you're going to be shopping for a dadgum car. And, you know, you should have just kept that one. No, I'd hold on to it. It's not that big a deal. You're in good shape. You got a nice car. It's within your range. You're fine. Keep it. This is the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Todd is in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It says on my screen, Todd, you're debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Dave.
How much you pay off, brother?
Coming. $245,000 in 10.5 years.
Wow.
So it's a little longer journey.
Love it. And your range of income during that 10.5 years?
Started at $45,000. I am now $110,000 now.
Excellent. What do you do for a living?
Pharmaceutical sales now.
Cool. Very cool. So I'm guessing with this length of time and this huge amount of money, maybe you paid off your house?
Not the house, but quite a bit. We started our journey, my wife and I at the time, when we were pregnant with our twins, which would have been number 3 and 4. And we started knowing that she had to stay home, and she chose to do that. And so we had to get our money under control real quick. And I had already been listening to you, and so being the nerd that I am, I have an Excel spreadsheet, you know, from 2008 when I started listening to you to the time we started in 2010. And it's just been an awesome opportunity to see this.
Wow. So you hustle. I mean, you just grind and grind and grind. 10.5 years later.
Wow.
Was it mostly student loans?
Yeah, student loans was the enormous part of it, yes. Yes, getting my master's and paying off my wife's debt as well for student loans. So there was quite a bit in there.
What's your master's in?
A business.
Okay, so you get an MBA.
I do have the MBA, yes.
Okay, cool. Very cool. What's her degree in?
Teaching.
Okay.
Teaching. So we've done a good job, and unfortunately last year we separated, but I know she's debt-free leaving that marriage, and so we're both debt-free to my knowledge, and I'm excited, that she's able to move on and go in that direction. And then for myself, I just look forward to spending time with more of my 4 kids, and I sent some pictures in. We were able, after getting debt-free, to go on vacation and hit up several national parks over the summer before all the fire season started, so it was awesome.
Looks like an epic trip.
Yeah.
Tough time in their lives, too, huh?
Right. Yeah. So, but I've been able to teach the class actually twice at church, 3 times at the community center, and helped a lot of people along the way, and a lot of people were way ahead of me, but I knew I'd see the end of the light, and now I'm here.
So what kept you going for a decade, brother? That's a long time to be committed to something.
Yes. Long time coming.
What kept you? What kept you moving?
Going?
I'm big into numbers, and that's why, like I said, I have an Excel spreadsheet going back all the way to 2008 before we started the program, and after I started listening to you, and it's just, I just keep going, and it gives me motivation to see it. I do it every month, look at the bottom line number every month, and know that I'm making progress, and that's how I measure my progress.
Wow. Well, congratulations. I'm very, very proud of you.
Yeah, man.
What do you tell people the secret to getting out of debt is? You've taught the class. You paid off $245,000. You're an expert. What's the secret?
Stay focused. It's hard sometimes. There's a lot of temptation to get out of it and not follow it, but you stick with it, you will make it. Set your goals and be focused.
While I've got you, backing out $100,000, would you recommend to your former self that MBA is worth it? We should pay full price for that executive MBA program. Has it helped you, or would you go back and do it again differently?
It helped me with my business and all the jobs that I've had, but in terms of how much money, it'd be questionable at this point.
That's a very common answer. Well, brother, I'm proud of you, man. So what do you tell? What are you passing along to your kids here in this new season?
Well, they know that there's a limited amount of money that they are going to receive, and they know the bottom line. When Dad says no, it's no, but they also know how to make money. My oldest is trying to start her own business, and she's not even out of high school yet. And my twins sell produce out of the front of our farm, and So every fall, so it's really kind of cool. So they've gotten the bug.
Very cool.
And they know that Dad's committed to it to help them.
Very neat. Well, congratulations, brother. Thank you for teaching the class, and you did it, man. 10.5 years.
Wow.
Pretty amazing. We've got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you. That's the next chapter in your story, and a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away to somebody. I'm sure you know how to do that after teaching the class and get somebody else started on this journey. And, man, you got a wide open thing in front of you now. So the next chapter, turn the page. Turn the page, turn the page. All right, Todd in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm sorry?
Thank you so much for all your help. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Todd in Fort Wayne, Indiana, $245,000 paid off in 10.5 years, making 45 to 110. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt-free!
Yeah! Wow! Angie is with us in Phoenix. Hey, Angie, what's up?
Hi, I am getting ready to retire. My husband and I, well, I'm 58, my husband will be 59, and I'm getting ready to sign the retirement papers and want to know if that's going to be a good thing for us.
Sounds like you're doing it.
Want to do it, yes.
Okay.
But we have a pension that we're going to get, and it's on the rule of 80. We paid 5% into it, so it makes sense to take the pension. We'll be getting $120,000 a year. We have about $400 equity in our house, but we owe $200,000 on it.
You have a nest egg?
Yes, we have. Between the 457 and 401A, between the both of us, is $750,000, and we have our 3-month emergency fund of $25,000.
So you're millionaires. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And your question is, is it okay to retire?
Is it okay to retire? What we're thinking about doing is, since we don't have the house paid off, and our money, as you know, is in a 401K, 457. We're going to have to pay taxes on that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I want to make sure we have enough money for funds. So we're going to be.
Can you live? What do you make now? What's your household income before you retire?
We each make about $100,000, so $200,000.
Okay. So it's going to drop to one. It's going to drop to 120. Can you make it?
That's what I'm nervous about.
Hold on tight. Are you holding on to something with both hands? Are you going to be all right?
Yeah.
I think so.
And so if you use some of this money in your nest egg that you're not going to use anyway to live on because you're living on the pension, and you use some of it to pay a little taxes and pay off your house, that'd be a good thing.
That'd be an excellent thing.
Which would also give you more wiggle room in the 120, by the way, because you don't have a house payment anymore.
Great. That's what we're hoping for.
Do it.
Yay!
Do it. Pay off the house.
Thank you. I've listened to you forever. I appreciate it. We just got out of debt this last COVID, the March 2019, around that time period. So we're real excited.
Well, you've done a great job handling your money over a long period of time, it sounds like. And here you are at 58 years old. You're millionaires. Everyday millionaires. Way to go. This is how you do it. Now, the warning is you're awfully young to do nothing.
Go you find a mission or a purpose or something. Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Don't just do nothing.
Sitting on the couch watching Oprah reruns, bad plan.
Because paying for
not good for the soul.
And paying for his funeral is going to be expensive, right? Because you're going to kill him. You're going to bury him in the yard. You'll got to have something to go towards.
And then you'll be a ward of the state.
That's exactly right.
So, no. Yeah, let's not go so dark so quick, John. My gosh.
Just what happens. Just what happens.
I kill him and bury him in the yard. Why don't we just get something to do with our hands here? Let's something to lay our hand
with no
to.
shovels. Yes, you're right.
This is the Ramsey Show. scripture of the day, John 14:6, Jesus answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Charles Swindoll said, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Julia is in New York. Hi, Julia. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Ramsey. Hi, John. I'm good. A little nervous and excited. How are you guys?
Great. How can we help?
Yes. So it's just some quick background information and then my question. My husband and I were a young couple. We just had a baby 9 months ago.
Congratulations.
We're looking to get out of... Thank you. Thank you so much. We're looking to get out of New York. We're just north out of New York City. Just craziness going on here, very restrictive. We want to move down south to Florida. We just want to know if it's a good idea to sell our house now since the market is so hot. We are pretty house poor. 60% of our income goes to the house. And if we should sell and then rent down there, and if we do that, should we throw our money at the proceeds at the debt and save some to live off of, since we do have a baby and it's a big move going down there, across, down the coast. Just kind of looking for some guidance on if this is a good move or not for us.
Well, if it's a good move is up to you guys. That part I can't decide for you. It sounds like you've already made the decision to me. But and there's nothing wrong with the move that you're describing or your reasons as far as I'm concerned. As far as what to do with the money part, how much debt do you have? Not counting your house.
Okay, not counting the house, we have about $75,000 in consumer debt.
Right, and how much equity will come free when you sell the house? How much money will you have in your hand from the house sale?
I would say at least between 100 and 150, depending.
Okay, so yes, I would write a check that day and be debt free. I would move to Florida, and you got $75,000 to put down on something if you want to buy something. Have you got jobs lined up?
Not yet. I mean, I'm not going back to work this year. I'm a teacher of the deaf. I'm going to stay home with the baby, and my husband works for the railroad, so he's going to keep working. We're just going to, make ends meet on his income. And
can he move his railroad job to Florida?
He thinks it's very promising that he'll find something down there for sure. He's been looking for sure, and there's a lot of openings. It's just a matter of finding something.
That's step one.
Yeah,
we don't go to Florida and hope.
Right.
Julia, I hear on your voice that you are in a panic. You've backed yourself into a corner. We got to do it right now. The market's hot. If we don't do it now, and you got to breathe, because what y'all are going to do is you're going to jump off the dock, and there's going to be no boat down there, and you're going to have a little 9-month-old baby, and you and your husband trying to tread water.
Yeah.
You're good.
Slow down.
Okay.
Slow down a little bit. You're all right. There's nothing.
I think everything going on with New York, it's just kind of
I got you.
I don't blame you for wanting to. It's a bad science fiction movie, Escape from New York, right? I mean, a lot of people are doing it. A lot of people escaping from California. There's a lot of that happening. A lot of migration in America right now, and it's not due to COVID. It's due to freedom. And so lots of people making the decision you're making right now. And so that's okay, but slow down 2 beats. John's exactly right. So beat 1 is husband goes and gets a job. The faster he does that, you can go to beat 2. And that's put the house on the market and sell it. Then you can decide, are we going to rent or are we going to buy in Florida? Because we're going to write a $75,000 check and be 100% debt free. See, if you move to Florida and you have $75,000 in the bank and your husband has a job and you rent a little while, no big deal. If you move to Florida and you have $75,000 in the bank and he does not have a job, you're going to burn through that money and you're going to be fretting and anxiety-ridden and looking at this 9-month-old going, how are we going to feed it? And you're going to be all this other stuff going on. Then he's going to end up taking a crappy job and then you're going to wish you hadn't moved.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No,
and then whatever politician's going to get voted out with the flavor of the month and New York's going to come back to sanity and you're going to go, what do we do? That's why I want you to exhale. Just exhale.
Get this in the right. He needs a job. The faster he gets a job, the faster you put the house on the market. The faster you put the house on the market, the faster you move. And as soon as you move, you're debt free. And when you do that, then we can breathe. And it's okay to rent for 6 months and take the $75,000 and look and learn the area, get comfortable, get settled in, because a new area is tough to buy intelligently in. After 6 months of renting, you'll make a much better purchase on a home. It does mean moving twice, and but you got a lot of comfort there. If you're sitting on $75,000 of just...
And you owe nobody anything.
And you don't have a single debt, and you get inexpensive rent, and he has a good, solid job equal to what he's got now, you'll make a very calm, wise purchase of your home in Florida.
Or maybe it's not Florida, it's Alabama, or it's Texas, or it's wherever.
Yeah.
Just breathe.
Yeah. So, and some of this goes with you're holding a 9-month-old in your arms, and you're
That's what
going.
I was gonna say. That 9-month-old.
I got to take care of this. I got to take care of this
you
right
feel
now.
the walls closing in on you, and they're not.
Yep.
Just breathe. Get some friends, and I know that's hard to do where you're at right now. Get some people you can laugh with, talk with, turn the news off, and breathe.
Jim's in Hollywood, Florida. Hey, Jim, what's up?
Hey, Dave, John. Nice to have you take my call. I appreciate it.
Thank you. How can we help?
My question is, I'm sitting on a home right now. It's currently a hot market down here in South Florida. It's worth about $700,000. I'm totally debt-free, plus I own 4 condos that are totally, I own them straight out and getting rent from that.
You own the house. The house is free and clear, too?
Correct.
Okay.
And so between the condos and Social Security that my wife and I are living off of, we clear about $80,000 a year on that. My question is, I've been wanting to move for the last couple of years up the line about 4 hours from South Florida. And the thing is, I feel my wife feels like she has a mandate from the Lord to take care of her aging mother, which is 89 years old. She still lives in the same home that she's owned for 30, 40 years now. And all the siblings are taking care of Mom, feeding her and whatnot. But my wife is a little apprehensive about taking the move. And my thoughts were, if we were to move 4 hours away, we can come down at least once a week and take care of her, like, stay on for 2 weeks, go back up, and et cetera. And just want to get your thoughts on that.
I think this is a bigger conversation than we can do in 2 minutes, but I think what care looks like and how you're splitting that up amongst, how she's splitting up amongst her brothers and sisters, what you guys decide you're going to do, and making sure you're both on the same page is going to be important here. But yes, you can live in a different state with aging parents.
Yeah, and you can make some trips back.
Absolutely.
And making sure that Mom's taken care of can be a mandate from the Lord. How it's done, I don't think is a mandate from the Lord.
Right.
So is it done by you making some trips down and, working a schedule with the brothers and sisters? That's okay. The other thing is, Jim, it might not be that long.
Yeah.
It might be this is just a gift you give to your wife to just chill for a year.
Or maybe you sell your house and move into one of your own condos for a year, and there's 100 things that could happen, right?
Yeah. But I don't know that there's nothing, again, I'm not going to panic to take advantage of this real estate market. $750,000 property in Hollywood, Florida is not that super expensive. That's mid-market. And so slightly above mid-market. And so, that's a movable property in virtually any economy. And so you're not going to lose money on this or miss a narrow window of opportunity to maximize your wealth building over this. You've done well. You're millionaires. You got plenty of money. You're living fine. It might be just a time that you're just kind to your wife. Mm-hmm. And she just takes care of her mom.
If you sit for a year and you'll get Mom settled, you'll get everything settled, and you sell this house for $650,000 instead of $7,000, don't hold that over your wife. Let that go, man. That's just part of love.
It's not going to go down. You don't have to worry about that.
I'm just saying, man, don't hold anybody. Take care of your family.
Yeah, it's worth it to do right by her.
Yeah.
That's why you did all this.
And you can do right a couple hours down the road, too.
Either one's okay, but it's okay to just chill a little bit. John Deloney, good show. This is The Ramsey Show. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.